What's up, everyone? Well, another green day. February is off to an amazing start. Started with $18,000 on Friday, $6,400 today. That's $24,000 in 2 days. I'm more than halfway to my $40,000 target for the month of February. It's a short month, but I'm making good work here, making some really good progress. As of today, I'm up $80,000 on the year. Wow. I mean, it adds up. Yes, 18,000 was a big day, but I haven't had any massive days. Like, to me, $30,000 to $40,000 is a massive day. And despite not having a massive day, I am still right on track for that $500,000 2019 goal. You know, it's a big goal. It's a big line in the sand. I really want to get there. I really want to cross it. And means I need to be consistent, slow and steady. I'm gonna have some big months. I'm gonna have some slower months, but I just gotta stay in the groove, set my pace. And right now, I've got a pretty good pace, so I'm okay with that. All right, so we're gonna break it all down. Today's midday recap, as usual. Any questions, any comments, leave them below. We'll come back through and answer them, and give me a shout out of how much you made. I know a lot of you guys were watching me talk about ZKIN during the pre-market watch list that I was streaming live on YouTube. Hopefully you guys made some money just using that watch list. All right, enjoy. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow. All right, everyone. So we're going to do midday market recap here. I'm just going to close up shop, 10:30, 1 hour of trading, $6,442 of profit. That'll do it for me. My account's up 13% this morning. Back in the IRA account this week. You know, kind of going back and forth between the main account, the IRA account. Made $18,000 on Friday in my main account, you know, which is great. That's spending money, you know, but the tax rate is so high. I'm trying to kind of even out both of them to be actively trading in both, so my profits are sort of split. Half is going into retirement savings, and the other half is for, you know, day-to-day stuff. So anyways, you know, this morning I came in optimistically hoping that we would see some good action. I mean, we saw some really good action on Friday with TMSR. This is a Chinese stock. We saw really good action on Tuesday with SXTC. SXTC, yeah, also a Chinese stock. So, you know, we've been seeing some action in the Chinese names, and this morning we saw ZKIN on the scans. It's a Chinese stock. We also had MJ, what was it? There was another one. I'll grab it in 1 second here. But anyways, there was another one that didn't end up doing much. But when I saw ZKIN, I was like, all right, this is looking interesting. But I was a little concerned about it. So let me go over kind of how I started the day by looking at the gap scanner this morning for 9 a.m. Let's see. Trade Ideas is giving me a little bit of a hard time here. All right, so time frame, historical, 9:25 a.m. All right. So this is how I saw the market this morning at 9:25. I started doing the watch list at around 9:15, which is pretty much what I always do. Those of you guys watching on Facebook, you know, make sure you subscribe to YouTube, because I do a YouTube stream every morning. It's basically just kind of my pre-market watch list. And then when the bell rings, I'm streaming just in the chat room, and these guys are able to watch over my shoulder as I'm taking my trades. So let's see, let me scroll up to the top. All right, so ZKIN was our leading gapper, up 69%, 5 million share float, 112,000 shares of pre-market volume. You know, price is 274. So I was looking at that and I was, you know, thinking this clearly looks good. My biggest concern was that it had already hit a pre-market high of 325, like right before the open. And I was just a little nervous that maybe it was getting a little too extended coming into the open. This is the setup that we talk about in chapter 6 of the day trade course. This is a gap and go setup. And the daily chart on it shows, you know, that it looks pretty clean. I mean, it's a fairly recent IPO stock from 2017. You know, it's pretty new to the market. It had made a pretty big recent IPO breakout here in 2018. Since then, it's been selling off. But check out this headline. Records a record revenue of almost $55 million, a 22% increase year over year. Good job. I mean, that's pretty solid. Chinese company, as you can see here. So anyways, you know, I certainly had a long bias on it, but here's the thing. Sometimes when I have a big green day, on the next day, I'll have a big red day. My biggest green days and biggest red days are almost always close together. Sometimes I'll have a red day, and then I'll come out swinging for the fences the next day, and I connect, and I hit a home run. And that's when I'll have like a, you know, $18,000, $20,000, $30,000 day. I'm being more aggressive because I just got knocked down the day before. And, you know, so oftentimes a big red day, the next day will be very green. However, what sometimes happens is that I'll have a big green day and the next day will be red because I get a little sloppy. I get a little complacent. I get a little overconfident. I'm feeling really good. I jump into something with big size, 9, 10, 12,000 shares, and then whoosh, drops 50 cents and I'm down $6,000. And it can happen like that. So I was trying to be really mindful and say, you know what? You had a great day on Friday. You got a great start on the month. You had some really good momentum, up 18,000 for the month of February. You know, I'm already doing better than I did last February. As of today, a lot better. And let's just take it slow. You know, let's knock down a couple trades in the IRA, see if I can make a little money there. All last week I was trading my main account. And so ZKIN, I was like, I like it, but I'm a little worried about a possible false breakout. By the time the bell was ringing, you know, it was pretty extended. I mean, it was basically straight up. And look at the last candle before the open has the highest volume of the day. It's red and it's a doji. This is called a candle of indecision. It's indecisive because the price opened and closed almost at the same spot. Squeezed up, sold often, hold its level. So when the bell rings, I wasn't really expecting that type of move. And so as a result, I wasn't really serious about jumping into it at 3. And hindsight is 2020. You know, getting in at 3 would have been great. Instead, I got in at 340. Once it was really taking off, I was like, all right, this thing is obviously strong. I'm going to go ahead and jump in at 340. So let me pull up my orders here. All right, so there we go. So scroll up. Very first trade, 9,000 shares, 40, 41, and 43. I held the whole thing until I sold half at 412. How awesome is that? I mean, that's a nice move. It actually, I'll give myself a pat on the back. That's pretty rare. I actually got a top tick. 412 was the high. That's pretty solid. Only got 2,000 shares filled, but I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back there. That's pretty rare. I was a little late on the entry, but a really good exit. Sold more at 99, 95, and then more at 65. Came back down, 66. All right, then it starts to curl back up right here. And so I go ahead and jump back in, adding 6,000 shares at 83 and 88. Target is $4. I'm selling at 4 and 411. These are scalp trades. I then got back in at 385, 390, this time with 9,000 shares, and I'm selling at 4. My target was a break over high a day. Didn't happen. Stopped out of the rest of it at, I don't know where it was. Oh, I got back in one more time at 405, 404, and sold that at 4. So I was kind of scalping in this area here, thinking that it was going to break over the high, over 418, but it didn't. And so I stopped out here as it started to turn around, and then here just kind of watched it pulling back. It's pulling back. I get back in, I believe it was right here. I got back in. So I was in there at 27, and yeah, it looks like just 27, selling at 33 and 24. I got back in, this time a little bit more aggressive, 9,000 shares at 33. That was right here. Pops up, only hits a high of 43, and then it drops. So I stop out of that. I lose about 600 on that trade. And I was just looking for that break on the 5-minute right here over 350. So I gave it one try, and I gave it a second try, and then I gave up. And, you know, now it's selling off. So, you know what? Gave back a little bit off the top, but green is good. I'm happy with that. So, you know, pretty decent there. Like I said, I could have been more aggressive on it out of the gates. I just was a little cautious. And I think that was the right thing to do after having such a good day yesterday. So, That'll put me up $24,000 in the last 2 days of trading. $24,000 of profit on the month of February, and it's February 4th, second day of the month. So put it in the calendar, make it official. All right, so flip the calendar. There we go. So this is the 23rd day of the year. I made $55,000 in January, so I'm now up $80,000 on the year. $80,000 on the year, and it's February 4th. So this is a good start, no doubt. You know, I still have the $500,000 goal for 2019, $500,000, and this keeps me on track. There's going to be some months that are below the goal. I know it, and there'll be some months that are above it, but you know, we'll see what we can do here. So anyways, not going to overtrade today, just going to take the money and be done. I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. Hopefully another solid day, some good opportunities, some good action. You know, today the move on ZKIN, I think because it was a little bit premature and, you know, I don't know, maybe a little bit more resistance on the daily chart at that 200 moving average. It wasn't quite as explosive as SXTC. SXTC being a recent IPO stock, these ones can be very explosive. TMSR also being a recent IPO stock, very explosive there. You can see this one IPO'd not that long ago. Go back last year. Let's look at IMTE just for reference. This is a recent IPO stock. Had a recent IPO. Boom, all the way up to 40 bucks. It's a very powerful setup. So, you know, just keep it on watch when you see something that has that recent IPO. They don't always work, but what was MDJH? That was the other one that we had on watch. This was actually a recent IPO one too, and it totally faded. It failed. So they don't always work. You know, but they're volatile, and volatility is what we look for. All right, so that's it for me. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. Remember, tomorrow, 3 p.m., Warrior Pro students, I'll be doing the mentor session for you guys, so you can look forward to that. I'll be there for Q&A. And yeah, hope you guys have a good afternoon. We'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. Bye, everyone.
If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content. Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.